Who's starting?
Hello. Welcome to Awakening Talk with Danielle and Earl.
And Earl. So today we're going to talk about entity attachments and how to protect yourself energetically and some other cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you want to talk about the layers of reality and where these things kind of come from?
Sure.
Okay. So as far as I understand it, we're in the third dimensional reality, right? The third dimension, the physical realm. Well, there's, let's say...
Right now.
Levels.
We are going into the fifth dimension. That's
so,
what we're going now.
If we're here in the third, there's a fourth dimension where these energetic beings kind of hang out. And then above that is the fifth dimension, which is universal Christ love and all that. So to get from third dimension to fifth dimension, you have to cross through this fourth. Well, the fourth is where you have energies that are cut off or cannot find the fifth dimension. So you'll have disincarnate spirits that have passed from the third dimension and can't find their way to the fifth. You have some that are not ready to go to the fifth and are just kind of hanging out and ready to come back. But you also have some darker entities that are actually cut off from the fifth dimension, and those things are kind of nasty. So what happens is the interaction between the fourth and third is these things that cannot move on actually affect us down here in the third and attach themselves to us in order to, well, basically survive, but they get energy from us. So when one of these energies attaches to us, we call that an energy attachment or a low vibrational entity attachment.
Some people call them energy vampires. So if you've ever heard that term, that's where that comes from. It's basically sucking off other people's energy. Sounds kind of gross when I said that way.
Well, it's almost like a leech. It's just an energetic leech.
Yeah.
So when I first heard of these things, so in the Christian realm, a lot of people call them demons. Okay.
Yeah.
And when I first heard of these things, it freaked me the hell out. I mean, it was scary because
well, it's not something that you want to hear about. You know?
Right. We've been programmed with all these movies about paranormal activity and all these horror movies about what's that one with the girl spinning backwards and pea soup and all that. So Exorcist. So we've been programmed with all these like scary things about it. Okay. So right off the bat, let me tell you that I have learned since then that these things are just a bunch of punks. All right. And they can't hurt you that bad, but you have to know how to deal with them. They can hurt you, but you have to learn how to deal with them. Okay. And once you learn how to deal with them, to me, now, they seem like a bunch of punks. Okay?
Yes. There you go. That's better.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, there's several ways that you can take care of that issue. But first, let me explain to you how they get in the first place. Okay? So, a lot of people don't realize that the things that... okay, I was just talking about this to Earl the other day, and it was about how we have to have a diet, and it's not necessarily just like a food diet. So you have to have a diet for, it's not just what you put into your body, it's what you're reading, what you're watching on TV, what situations you're putting yourself in. You have to change your diet. So if you notice yourself in situations that are very, very negative, you can't put yourself in those situations because you're going to make yourself very, very unhealthy. So you'll say, oh, I can't help it. Like maybe your sister is a very negative person or very nasty, but you live with her. Well, there's ways around that. If you can't move away, say you're a young person and you have no choice but to live with your sister and she's a very nasty person, you can limit your time spent with her as much as possible by just say going into another room, maybe getting a book out and reading the book instead of going in on a conversation with somebody that's so negative. You could there's many things that you can do. One of the things that you could do is to protect yourself spiritually, and it sounds kind of crazy, but it's not. It actually works. It's just doing a simple prayer to protect yourself. And one of the things that I really like about this is I personally have felt massive amounts of anger towards me, and I've used this particular thing, and it's worked every single time. Recently, a place that I work at, there's a bar on the other side of this place where I work, and it's very, very dark, and you could feel it when you walk in the room. You could feel how, that there were bad things that happened there, and everybody knows what happens at a bar. People get picked up. People have slipped people roofies. Lots of lies going on. People are drunk, hitting on people. There's probably adultery, things that are happening that are very negative that you shouldn't put yourself in those situations. We've all been put in those situations. So now is the time to realize that you've put yourself in that situation and you can get yourself out of that situation. You don't have to do it anymore. Because once you start to awaken to this, it means that you're starting to wake up to you being a free person. You're sovereign. You don't have to put up with this crap anymore. And it's something that's always been around. But you're just now realizing it. Like, you're starting to think better of yourself. You start to put yourself in better situations. You're starting to love yourself. And this is all part of the spiritual awakening, things that we all need to do. And so when you go into a place such as this, if you have to go into, say, I work at this place, so I have to go to the other side every once in a while. I work at this cafe, and there's a bar on the other side. Now, I don't work in the bar, but every once in a while I have to go over there. And when I do, I basically shroud myself with light. And I just picture, and this does work, I know it sounds crazy, but I just picture light, like a ring of light at the top of my head, like a halo, like say an angel halo, okay? And that halo just spins around me as I move. That's it. It's really, really easy. And I picture it's God's light. And it's shining from me and it's going out and it's protecting me, because who's the ultimate protector? Obviously, it's God. If you don't know, could you hand me the pink Bible? Really great verse is in Ephesians. I believe it's Ephesians 6. And I'm going to look that up while Earl talks to you a minute.
Okay, so I wanted to bring up like how to recognize if you have an entity attachment. A lot of times, you hear yourself talk as you think, but a lot of times these entities can slip things in as you're thinking, but you have to start using your intuition to see if it's really from you or if it's from this thing. And one real quick example is if you have a tendency to like too much alcohol, but you're trying to stop, and you're walking past a gas station, and you're thinking you're kind of thirsty and you want some water. As you're walking into the place, you're thinking, man, I could really go for some, and you're going to say water, but then something slips in and says vodka, and it's just kind of out of nowhere, okay? And you're like, why did I think about that? But then just that thought makes you go down the path of wanting something to drink, okay? So it could be as easy as that. And sometimes you just need to recognize that it's really not your thought, but these things trying to influence you, because that's the only way they can do that is if you decide to go along with it. So yeah. I'll get back to that. You go ahead.
So in Ephesians, it's 6:11. I was right on the 6. I just couldn't remember the verse. But it's, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So it goes on to say, about the different parts of an armor, like a suit of armor that you would have if you put on from God. And it really does help. And I know it sounds kind of nuts, but it does work. So just picture light around you. Any bad situation that you're going to, you can always ask God for help. You can always ask Jesus for help. Any person like that you feel, your angels for help if you're into the angel thing. And you surround yourself with light. But just know that it's literally a call away, and that's all you have to do. So he was getting into, how do you know? So I personally know a ton about this. And because, I've put myself into situations before, and they were not good. Okay, so one of the situations where you can get an attachment is like, say you're watching horror movies, okay? Now, my nieces love horror movies, and they asked me if I'd watch these movies with them, and I've never liked them. They've always terrified the crap out of me, and I've never wanted to watch them. I joke around about having my special horror movie kit. I actually have a towel just to put on the couch because, let's just put it this way, I peed my pants. So anyway, it's very scary. I am not into it. So I was watching a movie with my niece, and oh my God, I have a very, very vivid imagination, okay? So manifestation is about focusing on something, picturing it, and bringing it to reality. So when you have an imagination like that and you're very good at manifesting, as I am, you can actually manifest something very horrible, very badly. And I did. So, in my own home. So, as crazy as that seems, that can happen. So, I know that you're thinking, you're freaking me out. That's okay. Just don't do the stupid crap that I did. Don't watch horror movies, okay? Just don't do it.
And we're going to go into how you clear and do all that. So
yeah.
Don't be scared of it.
So it's the diet that you have, okay? The biggest thing I can tell you, the diet that you have in your entire life is what's going to get you into trouble and what's going to help you through this ascension. And the main thing is be positive, okay? Hang out with positive people. Eat good foods. We're going to get into the food also. We're going to get into music. The music that you listen to can affect your mood. The people that you hang out with can affect your mood. The food that you eat can affect your mood. Anything can affect your mood. If you are in a group of a lot of people and you are an empath, if you don't know what an empath is somebody that takes on other people's energies, okay? And that can, so I'm an empath, and I can walk into a room and I can feel the room, okay? Massively. So if the room's great, high energy, I feel hyper, I can do really well. If the room is low, I feel like I want to kill myself, okay? And so my job is sort of like a cleanup crew, okay? That's what I've been shown, okay? God has shown me what I'm to do with it. So I clean energy. And that's a whole other thing. But what I'm saying is this, the people that you hang out with, unless you are like myself that actually has a specific job to do, it's very difficult to go into a room with a whole bunch of negative people and to come out in a positive way. So you have to protect yourself. So Earl's going to go through a protective prayer.
A real quick way to just is to do imagine surround yourself with the golden light of the highest vibration. And it's very simple. All you do is you say, Dear Creator, thank you for filling and surrounding me with the divine light of the highest vibration, protecting me against low vibrational entities. That's it. All you do is ask, but you ask as if it's already happened.
Right.
So I always say thank you as if he's already done it. So, the Creator's already done it.
And a lot of people will say, oh, this spiritual crap, it's nonsense. If you're a religious person and you're saying that, then you're also wrong. If you're religious and you go by the Bible, I can show you where it is in here, where it says that you pray as if it had already happened. That's how you pray, okay? So when you pray, just like he said, you do it as if it's already happened. Thank you for taking care of me today. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for surrounding me with light and protecting me from low vibrational entities and energies. In your name I pray. Amen. Okay? It's
And then
pretty
you
simple.
can help it along by using your imagination, because your imagination, you're receiving these thoughts, remember, from our first video. So you're receiving the thought that you're already protected and everything's already already good and nothing's going to get you.
Right. That's how you manifest things. And so there's lots of different ways. And I know this is a ton of information, and we're going to go over this like several different times in several videos. But that's one of the ways.
So other ways you can know that entities are attached to you, you'll get these phantom pains in places. So I don't know if we want to go into the whole chakra system, but certain entities can attach to your chakras in different areas and cause a block for the energy to flow, which will then cause like a muscle spasm, cause a backache. It'll cause your knees to ache. It'll cause a headache. It'll cause all these little things. And several people, because nobody talks about energies and entities and things like that in the medical field, they'll go to the doctor. They'll run all kinds of tests. They can't find what's wrong, and they'll come back with something like fibromyalgia or some kind of like pain thing that they prescribe pain medicine for. And
yeah,
and really, it's an entity attachment, and you need to do a clearing, and usually that clears up. And I want to tell you about a guy named the Praying Medic, and he's on YouTube, and this is what he does. He prays over people. He was an ambulance driver, EMS, and he started doing this. God told him to start praying over people, and now people come to him, and he prays over them, and the entities leave, and they get better. So the noticing that something. Well, I'll go into this quick story from him. He had a girl that knew about him. He was at a hotel. This was the receptionist. She said, "Hey, I've been having this backache." They set up an appointment. On her way to go to him, she started getting these thoughts in her head like, "Oh, this is stupid. I should just turn around." And the pain was getting worse and worse and worse. Well, it's a clear sign when you're about to get rid of an entity and it knows it. It starts trying to get you away from that person that will help you as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you almost feel like desperate. It feels desperate.
Yeah, they get desperate. They start clamping down. If you have an entity on your neck, they start clamping down. You'll find it hard to breathe.
Maybe you choke.
And you will actually have thoughts that want to stop getting help, want to stop the clearing, want to stop everything, because they're holding on because they know their time is up.
You'll want people to shut up. You'll want them to leave you alone. There's like so many things that you personally will have too, because you can feel the anger, and it's just like so big time, like it like takes over. And then you have to be strong when this is happening. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess we'll just do a clearing real quick. And I got this clearing from James Gilliland. His website is eceti.org, eceti.org. And you just go up to the top where
he's
that
amazing
little 3-line thing is, and there's a menu that pops down, and there's clearing techniques. So just go to the clearing technique. I'll do the quick one here, but the first step is what we talked about a few minutes ago. So you take a deep breath, find your calm center. I do this before my meditations to make sure that everything's cleared out and you're not listening to anything negative. So you say, "Dear Creator, thank you for filling and surrounding me with divine light of the highest vibration, protecting me against lower vibrational beings and entities. Any lower vibrational beings or entities attached to me or in this room, I speak to you now from the Lord God of my being, telling you that you are healed, forgiven, lifted, and enlightened. Healed, forgiven, lifted, and enlightened, filled with the Christ love and the Christ light, and ask the beautiful many to come now and take you off to your perfect place. Go in peace. Amen. And you can put any ascended master or religious figure that connects you to the Creator. Muhammad, Jesus, Mary, or you can say the beautiful many. I prefer to say the beautiful many. I say Jesus a lot. I know, Danielle, you have Jesus come a lot to do these clearings with you, and they will come because your intention calls them in, and they will clear it out. Now, if you feel something tug on you and it didn't leave, you do the clearing over and over and over again until you feel good. You'll
notice when it's gone because you'll feel it. A lot of people, what was I saying earlier? I had something I was saying.
I'm not sure.
It's before you went into that prayer. Oh man, I can't remember what it was. It was gold. It was amazing.
Well, we'll get back to it. Do you want to maybe talk about your first clearing?
Yeah. So I had an experience here. Anyway, I'll go ahead and go through it. A person accused me of being the devil, which was actually pretty funny, but obviously serious at the same time. And so when this was going on, she told me that I had all these entity attachments and everything, and it was actually scary for me because I didn't know, so I just believed everything she said, which obviously is very stupid. And so anyway, I was looking into it, how do these things attach to you? And it's actually pretty easy. Every single thing that you do against God, against the natural, moralistic kind of thing that you were supposed to be doing, is a chance for you to get an entity attachment. Well, now you're oh, thanks. Now I'm screwed, right? So, right. This is what I was thinking. I was oh God, this is going to take forever. So, yeah. So anyhow, what happened with me was, there was this video, and I did have something, obviously. Everybody does, but it wasn't the devil.
What did you say before? If you're alive, you have entity attachments.
Yeah, if you
don't know about this stuff.
If you exist, you have an entity attachment. Every single one of us have entity attachments, even your kids. Okay, we all have them. So I would like to say it's nothing to be scared of, but it sounds pretty horrible, but it really isn't that bad. So anyway, but I'm going to tell you how to take care of it. So one of the things was, it's when you first hear about it, you're well, I don't have anything. Well, there's your ego. Yeah, you do. You've got it. I'm telling you right now, you do. Even a saint has had it, I'm sure. Anyway, so I went upstairs and I was listening to this video because I was looking up all these things, and I fasted and I did all this crap. And so in the Bible, they talk about fasting, and that's how you starve out these things. And I'm oh God, I'm going to starve to death. So I did this fast. But before I did the fast, I did this video. And it's amazing, and I love it. It's Robert Clancy, and it's the Deliverance from something. Anyway, I will put it in the description box. But it takes care of these entity attachments. It's basically from all kinds of stuff. He goes down a list. And so the very first time I'm listening to this thing, I'm not even joking when I tell you this. So I get into the bathtub, and I have this clawfoot tub, and I'm in this tub, and it says right away, it says, if you are listening to this, push pause right now and get a bucket or a bowl or something, because an entity that's in there has to come out. And I'm thinking, oh shit, what is going to happen? And now I'm a little bit scared, but I'm I'm on it, buddy. I'm getting it out. If somebody tell me I got something in there, I'm taking it out of me. So I put the video out, I'll try anything once, as far as that goes. Anyway, so I put the video on, and I'm thinking there's nothing going to happen, And all of a sudden, he's going through his list, and he's going through it for quite a long time. And I'm thinking, damn, all right. I'm good. And then all of a sudden, he said something. I don't remember which one it was, but it was like one that I never would have thought, you know? And as soon as he said it, I felt this, like this. And it's like, it went up like this. I could feel it. And it was, sorry, it just went right here and I got stuck. And I started to choke. And I'm like, what the heck? And this thing, the video's going on and it's going up again. It just keeps going up my throat and I could feel it stop. And I was like, holy shit, you know? So I'm leaning over this bathtub and I'm like at my bowl, you know? And I'm like sick I'm choking. And I felt, I'm not even joking when I tell you this, I felt it grab my throat. I'm like, what? And so then, like, as it's going on, I'm kind of freaked out, I'll be honest with you. Thank God nobody else was at the house, which was probably stupid too. But anyway, so it went up and it was like, it's choking me. So I'm like, getting it out of there, I'm hacking and everything. Finally, after a few minutes, it's out. And I am not kidding you. You just throw up. It's not like a demon came out of there. But, it's this energy that came out and unattached. And I kid you not, I felt it unattached from my throat as I throw up.
Did you make like a growling sound when it
came
out?
Oh, here's the creepy part. It was like that. Was like, what? It like growled. It was terrifying. And I was like, what the hell? And then it's gone. And I was like, well, shit, I feel great. So I was like, I'm doing this every week. Oh my God. Anyway, so I did it.